Coulson chats with Boardroom about her decision to leave the Las Vegas Aces and join the Indiana Fever, the current state of women basketball, what she's been up to in the content game, and much more.
AJA Wilson is furious after a surprising WNBA shakeup. Her longtime teammate and close friend, Sydney Coulson, has left the back-to-back champion Las Vegas Aces to join Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. The unexpected move has shocked fans and could shift the league's balance of power.
Two-time WNBA champion Sydney Coulson is officially signing a one-year deal with the Indiana Fever. So, the Fever just keep on doing what they've been doing. They're not playing no games in Indy.
The so-called Aces dynasty is starting to show cracks, and AJA Wilson's fans are in a frenzy. Among all of Indiana's off-season moves, this might be the biggest yet. Sydney Coulson could be the missing piece that turns the Fever into real championship contenders. Buckle up, things are about to get wild.
Obviously, you made a big change in leaving the Aces for the Fever. What made you want to join Indiana? Here we go. Sydney Coulson stated it was a variety of things. There was a new coaching staff. Amber Cox was a big part of that. Chelsea Mitchell, I played with her for the first 3 seasons. Joanna Barner and Natasha Howard are players I respected from afar. Enjoy their game. Kate Martin, my teammate from the Aces, obviously good friends with Caitlin Clark. They play together at Iowa, and she speaks really highly of her. And obviously, we saw the rookie year that she had.
Imagine AJA Wilson waking up, checking her phone, and realizing her most trusted teammate is gone, not traded, not cut, but gone by choice. Sydney Coulson, a 2-time WNBA champion, wasn't just another player. She was Wilson's confidant, her go-to, and the heart of the Aces locker room. But something changed. Coulson looked beyond the bright lights of Vegas and set her sights on something new.
First of all, this WNBA free agency will not let us rest. Number one, we literally cannot rest. But also, I love this move again. Like, Sydney Coulson is a great player, but she's also a player that is going to add even more to what we're going to talk about later, and that's that chemistry of the team.
Let's talk about Sydney Coulson's impact. On paper, her stats, 2.5 points, 1 assist, and 8 minutes per game last season, might not stand out. But numbers don't tell the full story. Coulson was a defensive menace and a clutch performer when it mattered most. Think back to the WNBA Finals 2 years ago. She was making game-changing plays, the kind that don't always make the highlight reels but help win championships.
Kelsey and Aaliyah, Boston, they had something special the second half of the season, and I just look at them as a young, hungry team. Our veteran president with Joanna Barner, Natasha, and me coming from winning programs who have been around the league for a long time and can help infuse something in that team that can take them far in the playoffs.
Coulson wasn't just a player, she was the glue that kept the Aces together. The ultimate teammate, the locker room leader, the energy source when things got tough. Every championship team needs that one player who lifts everyone around them, and for Vegas, that was Coulson. Her impact went beyond the stat sheet. She brought the heart, chemistry, and leadership that turned a great team into back-to-back champions.
To tell me that 2-time WNBA champion, the face of the God Dog League, okay? The Aces' main girl, right-hand man, Sydney Coulson, is no longer returning to the Aces and is signing with the Indiana Fever. First of all, do the Fever even have any more roster spots open? How many folks are you guys going to sign?
Indiana isn't just making moves, they're making a statement. They've added Natasha Howard, locked in Joanna Barner, brought in Sophie Cunningham, and now Sydney Coulson. The Fever are stacking their roster with experienced winners and high-energy players, signaling that they're not just here to compete, they're here to contend. With Caitlin Clark leading the charge, this team is shaping up to be a real threat.
She's the face of the league. Self-appointed face of the league, but also just in entertainment and all of these things. She has done and achieved so many things and continues to find amazing places in the WNBA, including with the Indiana Fever right now. And I'm just really, listen, what other moves they gonna make? Because I love this one too. It just great move after great move after great move.
Sydney Coulson's decision to leave a championship-winning team has sent shockwaves through the WNBA. Fans are scrambling for answers. Why walk away from a dynasty? Aces supporters are in disbelief, feeling like a key piece of their team just vanished. Meanwhile, Fever fans are celebrating like they just hit the jackpot. Social media is on fire, debates are raging, and one thing is clear, this move is shaking up the league, and the drama is just getting started.
I'm excited for Sydney Coulson, and I'm excited for the Indiana Fever because they have an amazing player who is also very hilarious, like one of the funniest people in the league. So really excited to see this.
Said, imagine the content between Sydney and Caitlin. It's going to be comedy.
Content for days. I know the Indiana Fever front office is just celebrating because that is a part of it too, is content and having players that are going to be good at that. So come on,
Sydney Coulson choosing Caitlin Clark over AJA Wilson? Let that sink in. Wilson's most trusted teammate, the one she called her favorite, just packed her bags and left for Indiana. This isn't just a simple roster move, it's a power shift. The WNBA is entering a new era, and the Fever just made it loud and clear, they're here to take over. And with Coulson's energy and Clark's star power, expect non-stop headlines, viral moments, and content gold for days. The league just got a whole lot more interesting.
What do you mean Sydney Coulson is joining the Indiana Fever? What does that mean? Indiana is just being so greedy right now. They took DB, they took Natasha. Now they got Sydney Coulson. Like, why would they take Sydney from us? Why would they take Sydney from us? What the fuck we ever do to Indiana? Except beat them. But like, what the fuck we ever do to Indiana?
This move isn't just about basketball, it's about building something real. The Fever aren't just adding a backup guard for Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. They're bringing in a proven leader, a defensive specialist, and someone who knows exactly what it takes to win at the highest level. Meanwhile, AJA Wilson isn't taking this well, and her fans are in full meltdown mode over Coulson's departure. But why is Sydney Coulson's move causing such a frenzy? Simple, she's a game changer, both on and off the court. Indiana isn't just stacking talent, they're setting the stage for something big.
See, I'm really trying here not to crash out, okay? I can't take too much more. I just said the other day, what did I say? Another bomb is Sunday. I said, this isn't it. You know, I can't wait to see what the next bomb will be. Didn't know this would be the bomb. Stephanie White ain't playing fair. I have to say it again. Stephanie White is not playing fair. She on one.
Coulson might not seem like a game changer at first, she's not a high volume scorer or someone dropping 30 points a night. But that's not what makes her special. She's a defensive disruptor, a playmaker with elite court vision, and a clutch shooter when it counts. Now, imagine those skills alongside Caitlin Clark or Coulson stepping up when Clark takes a breather. That's the kind of depth that turns a good team into a great one. Her impact isn't just about stats, it's about making the right plays at the right time, the ones that win championships.
Sydney Coulson is a two-time WNBA champion, a true vet, an amazing backup point guard. And anytime that CC or any of the guards need to go to the bench, I mean, Sydney Coulson always makes the right call, always makes the right decision. So to pick up a vet, a professional like Sydney Coulson, and then you also have a vet like Dewana Bonner, and you also have a vet like Kelsey Mitchell, and then you have CC and Aaliyah Boston and
Her impact isn't about flashy stats. The Fever didn't bring her in to be their top scorer. They already have offensive firepower. What they needed was a defender who can lock down opponents, make smart plays, and thrive under pressure. Coulson is the kind of player who steps up when the game is on the line, making winning plays that don't always show up in the box score but make all the difference when it matters most.
I hope that some of y'all, if y'all are not familiar with Sydney Coulson, I hope y'all watch some highlights of her, because don't just be like, oh, Sydney Coulson, she barely scored last year, she's not good for the Indiana Fever. No, she is.
What truly sets Coulson apart is her leadership. She's not just another name on the roster, she's a two-time champion who's been through the toughest battles and knows what it takes to win. For a young team like Indiana, that kind of experience is invaluable. She elevates everyone around her, keeping teammates focused and locked in when the grind of the season hits. Coulson brings more than just skill, she brings a winning mentality, and that's exactly what the Fever need.
Caitlin Clark actually spoke on this on Sunday, and she had this to say, quote, "I'm excited. Obviously, we made some great moves. I think Kelly and Amber and the whole Fever organization are helping us to win now, and I think that's really important. I think they're putting really good pieces together that are going to complement each other really, really well. And then she continued talking about Steph, their new head coach, and said that Steph taking over as head coach for us, I think is going to be really great. A great basketball mind, someone that actually called quite a few of my college games. So being able to build that relationship with her and just be in the gym and work on things that she probably saw when I was a freshman in college.
Sydney Coulson is the kind of player every team needs, the one who keeps everyone connected and focused through the ups and downs of a long WNBA season. In a league where team chemistry can make or break a championship run, her presence is invaluable. But it's not just about leadership. Coulson has a history of stepping up when it matters most. She's made clutch plays, locked down opponents on defense, and thrived under playoff pressure. When the stakes are high, she doesn't shy away, she rises to the occasion. That's exactly the type of player you want supporting your stars.
We knew that Caitlin Clark was this phenomenal talent, but she was entering a league that she was not familiar with. She was a rookie. The Indiana Fever have been actively building and rebuilding their organization and this team, and they have a lot of incredible pieces. But the fact that they were able to get into the playoffs and be a team that, although they didn't, advance far in the playoffs, they were a team that we kept saying, if you face them, they're gonna make it difficult for you. That organization then saw that and said, we're capitalizing on this and we're doing it.
When discussing the biggest off-season moves, don't overlook this one. Sydney Coulson could be the most underrated piece of Indiana's championship puzzle. The Fever didn't just add another player. They brought in a proven winner, a leader, and a key figure for long-term success. Indiana isn't just collecting talent, they're building a culture of winning. They're creating an environment where top players can thrive, where competition fuels growth, and where every move takes them one step closer to title contention. Coulson will play a crucial role in that, a steady presence to keep the team focused and a veteran leader to guide their young core in the right direction.
What Steph White is doing and what the Fever organization is doing is nothing less than phenomenal, in my opinion. They are taking this young, talented core that they have, with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, and they're adding veteran players that Stephanie White has already worked with. Let's talk about that too, and has chemistry with and knows the work ethic of. And they are building this super team, make no mistake about it, that is going to give you instant results.
Fever is going to run amok this year. You got DeWanna Bonner. Oh, my God. They took Sid. And some of y'all really don't feel like Sid was that valuable. Sid, so valuable. To not see Asia, Sid, Chelsea Gray, KP, and Jackie Young together.
Picture this, the final minutes of a close game, the crowd on its feet, tension at its peak. And there's Sydney Coulson, calm, focused, and delivering when it matters most. Whether it's sinking a clutch three or forcing a game-changing turnover, she thrives in these moments. And now, she's doing it in a Fever jersey, but this move is bigger than just adding depth. Coulson isn't just backing up Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, she's elevating them. Her experience, high basketball IQ, and championship mindset will have a ripple effect across the entire roster. She's not just filling a spot, she's making everyone around her better, bringing the leadership that builds winning teams.
Investigate Indiana. I need Indiana investigated. Unfortunately for Indiana, I will be praying on their downfall. I will be praying for them to lose every single game. I just can't. I just can't.
What is painfully clear, and what I've talked about in my other videos, is that the league, the Fever organization are doing everything they should do to make sure their star is happy and that their star gets a ring. I didn't know they were going to load up like this, though. DeWanna Bonner, Sydney Coulson, just re-signed Kelsey Mitchell. You already have Aaliyah Boston. You have Caitlin. You have Lex.
They were so close. They made the postseason, I should say, for the first time in a long time. But this is going to catapult them to what I see as being in the finals, if not winning the whole thing. If you look,
they are giving their star, Caitlin Clark, all the pieces she needs to be successful, and you have to clap for that, because this is what you do when you have superstar talent. You build a superstar team, and this is what the Indiana Fever has
do. She is on one, man. She came in and said, I got some things I need to do and I'm going to get them done. And I'm going to build around Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. And I know, you got to get props and props to do. Y'all, the Fever go run some stuff next year.